Yo, so the Sacramento Kings, they just beat the Denver Nuggets. And I wanted to do a little short video on this because, they're in the area for me, right? Northern California. Sacramento Kings used to be good back in my day, back in, when I was young in my 20s. We had C-Web, they had Bibby, Christie, Divac, Peja. They had a nice squad, Turkoglu, all of that. And since then, they've kind of had like one good year with Sabonis and Fox, and then they, you know, blew that up. All this to say is Sacramento has sucked for a while. And I just want to say this to the Sacramento Kings faithful, the Sacramento Kings players, organization. Ain't nobody coming to save y'all but you. Y'all got to look yourselves in the mirror at some point and recognize you're doing this to yourself. Real talk. Everybody knew that DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine wasn't going to work. Not because they're not talented players, but because neither of them does the things that it takes to win on both sides of the ball and are willing to do the auxiliary things like the rebounding, the hockey assists, diving on loose balls, boxing out, communicating on defense, all the little things that it takes to win. And unless you were going to put a team around them of guys who are willing to do that, it wasn't going to work. And the reality is those guys aren't available. The Aaron Gordons aren't available. The Asar Thompsons aren't available. The guys who can fly around and do all the things that those guys have not been willing to do throughout their careers aren't available. But here's the thing. I will give you this, that the early portion of this season, your schedule has been pretty heavy. It has to be at least top 5 hardest schedules in the NBA. I looked through it. You got OKC. You had the Lakers, Warriors. You had Denver's. You had the Minnesotas multiple times, right? You've won some good games. You've lost some games. But the reality is, ain't no trade going to be available. Ain't nobody taking those contracts of Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan. Ain't nobody, and you're not going to give up Domantas Sabonis, which you shouldn't. The reality is y'all going to have to fix this, and you're going to have to fix it internally. Everyone has to hold themselves accountable. If you don't make the rotation on defense, you got to blame yourself. And your teammates should be looking at you too as much as they look at themselves. If they don't communicate that backdoor screen, if they don't box out, if they don't make that extra play, it's on y'all. You're going to have to turn it around. Ain't nobody coming to save you. C-Web ain't walking through that door. Doug Christie ain't going to lace them up. That's just your reality. You've got some talent. I like Keon Ellis. I like Schroeder. I even like Westbrook there. I like LaVine. I like Sabonis, Keegan Murray. You got guys. Figure it out. Look in the mirror. Figure it out.